Good evening, friends. Welcome back. I hope everyone being good. This is my second video. Second video under beginners class. First video already we done regarding for role of HVAC in industry. If you are not watching that video, I will add on my description. You can go and watch that video also and keep supporting us. Okay. So today's video I'm making for the beginners or for the freshers. Probably if you're going to attend an interview as a fresher, probably they are asking some questions regarding some basics. So that's mainly they're asking at least one question you can expect from the refrigeration cycle. So today we are going to discuss about the refrigeration cycle, just a small class regarding before refrigeration cycle. Some basics we can tell regarding for refrigerant. Why we are using refrigerant? Why we are using refrigeration? Refrigeration is main function is removal from heat, absorbing heat from the surroundings, right? If we are absorbing heat, what will happen? Probably the temperature of the refrigerant will be increase. So if it increase, temperature will be saturated, so that will turn to phase change, like liquid to vapor, some more function like this. So that is called saturation. What is saturation temperature? Saturation temperature of any liquid, solid, vapor, any states, they have a saturation temperature. The point at which the temperature is going to change the phase, we can call saturation temperature. If as a saturation temperature of a liquid, if we adding any amount of energy, that will tend to change the phase. If that amount of energy, we can say latent heat. If we are adding some amount of energy to the saturated temperature, that amount of energy we can call it latent heat. That is the energy which is lead to the use change the phase without changing the temperature, without increasing the temperature. Same things we can remove also from the remove of heat. So that will from vapor states, we are removing heat and the vapor tends to liquid. That's temperature we can call it saturated temperature. And the amount of energy need to change the states is called latent heat. So this is the latent heat and saturated temperature. So for the cycle, we can tell refrigeration cycle. The heart of the refrigeration, we can say compressor. So we can say compressor is first. That is the heart of the refrigerant. We can call it heart of the refrigerant. The cycle is starting from your compressor. If we just, I'm not going to draw. Whatever. Okay. The liquid or the vapor from the evaporator, the vapor refrigerant will come. The vapor going to enter. First of all, we can say the complete cycle. Then we can discuss this. 1 minute. Okay, for the refrigeration cycle, first we saying compressor. There should be a compressor. Then should be condenser. After compressor, the refrigerant going to condenser. Then after that, we can say expansion valve. Expansion valve. Then after that, evaporator. So if we are putting a cycle, there is a compressor, then going to the condenser, then going expansion valve, then going evaporator, then again going to the compressor. This will be a cycle. Okay, this is a refrigeration cycle. So we can go to the refrigeration cycle. For refrigeration cycle, what's the main function? We can say for the refrigeration cycle, there is a high pressure side and low pressure side. We can divide this cycle with the low pressure side and high pressure side. One we can call low pressure side, another we can call high pressure side. From the evaporator to compressor is low pressure side. After the compressor to the expansion valve, high pressure side. That divided with the compressor and expansion valve. The refrigerant will be this area, the refrigerant will be low pressure. Then after the compressor, the refrigerant will be turned to the high pressure. That's only the difference. So we can go to the compressor. What compressor doing? Low pressure vapor enter into the compressor. For this entry we can call is suction line. It's a suction line. The low pressure water vapor enter into the compressor. What will happen? As its name showing compressor, that will compress and turn to high pressure, high temperature. Okay, high pressure, high temperature, that will turn to high temperature and high pressure. Then these lead to another section, and this line we can call discharge, where the high pressure compressed refrigerant release. That point we can call discharge line. That line we can call discharge line. Then this discharge line connected to the condenser. Then we are going to the second part of the cycle. This discharge line connecting to the condenser. What condenser doing? Condenser have coil like this. So in this small tube, high pressure, high temperature liquid will be allowing to pass to this, the discharge line connected to the inlet of the condenser, and this refrigerant will allow it to pass to the fins or the small tubes like copper tubes. So there will be too many fins, and they will allow it to blow air. What is the condition of this refrigerant? High pressure, high temperature. So if we blowing using some fans or some air to this area, using with any fans, so the air temperature will be less than the temperature of the refrigerant passing here. So probably the refrigerant high temperature, that will absorb. So this heat will release to the cold air passing, some cold air passing over on it, that will release some heat. So that will tend to what? That will tend to that will achieve the saturation temperature, and that will tend to release, condensation will happen, release temperature, a latent heat will come, then turn the phase changing, the vapor will change to liquid states. So after the condenser, we can say liquid line. This liquid line, what is the condition? High pressure, low temperature. So this is connected to the expansion valve. What happening in expansion valve? Expansion valve or metering device or something, that will allow refrigerant pressure change, that will regulate the flow of refrigerant to evaporator. So for the evaporator, that will regulate the flow and release pressure from the evaporator. Low pressure, low temperature, air will enter, liquid enter into the evaporator, that will absorb heat from surroundings air. We are using in evaporator, there also will use the fan to blow air to surround the air inside the room, and when the air touching in coil in evaporator, that will absorb heat from the air, and this heat we use to low pressure will suddenly saturation temperature will be less, so it will be saturated, then is converted to phase change. For this there is a one problem also. If we are releasing more refrigerant, some refrigerant will be balanced, refrigerant liquid will go to the compressor, that will damage the system. So that's why we are using thermal expansion valve. What is the use of thermal expansion valve? We can set a point on the thermal expansion valve to release that. We can control the automatically. So that will connected to here, one sensor will connected to the suction line. So suction line temperature always they can read. As per that commands, the expansion valve will work. So not release more, so we can reduce the amount of liquid entering into the compressor. This is the refrigeration cycle.